Welcome back to the second part of the most incredible adventure of my life. In the previous episode, we had to climb 12,000 foot up the Altai mountains in search of one of the world's most elusive animals, the snow leopard, otherwise known as the grey ghost.
It was so tough, and we are right up. There's no trails or anything. It's walking up the slippery I can't even talk. But we've made it, and there's a snow leopard just over there. I can't actually believe I can see it with my own eyes.
In this episode, we travel east across the country to the Mongolian Manchurin Steppe in search of the very rare Pallas Cat, known locally as the Manul. We get caught in a storm, have to dig ourselves out and suffer temperatures as low as -40, but it's worth it for what we would witness.
So after the snowstorm yesterday, just to get out of camp, you can see we're about 4 foot. It's about 4 foot high. Okay, we've managed to get a cat. It's just hiding amongst the rocks.
Part 2, Secrets of the Steppe. It was a very early start, as we had a 10-hour drive ahead of us, but driving across this stunning country was a pleasure.
So we're halfway to the Pallas Cat location, and we've just stopped off at the Genghis City it's called, which is the city where Genghis Khan was born. We just had something really nice to eat, and we've now got another 200 kilometres to go till we get there.
Further we travelled east, the colder the climate got, and the roads disappeared.
So we're now about 45 kilometres from where we need to be, but as you can see, it's totally different, full of snow, and it's very, very cold. I've just jumped out the car and I can feel myself freezing, but it's flat all the way around, and that's why we're going to get these incredible colours of a night when the sun goes down, or in the morning when it comes up. So we finally arrived at camp, and it's absolutely beautiful here. It's getting late, so the sun's just gone down. You can just see the hue behind me, but it's an absolutely beautiful camp. Yurts are a little bit bigger than the ones we stayed before. It's all fenced off, and it's just snow as far as the eye can see. It's a mega drive here. It took about 10 hours in the end, and just before we come into camp, there was a golden eagle literally just stood about 100 metres away from us. I've got some photos of it, but unfortunately, for some reason, my lens seems to be, well, the shots just seem to be a bit soft. So my camera might have just got a bit warm and a bit of condensation, so I'm going to clean that out tonight. Fingers crossed everything's okay. And then we're up early in the morning for the Pallas Cats.
After such a long drive, it was time to head in, have some warm Mongolian food, and get into our sleeping bags for some well-deserved rest.
Good morning, it's the first day on our Pallas Cat adventure, and I'm super excited this morning. I love this type of photography, similar to the photography I did in Iceland, where you're lying in the snow and trying to get the best images with the best light of the subject. And these Pallas Cats, if I get one on camera, are absolutely stunning. They've got the most beautiful bright yellow eyes, so fingers crossed. We're just leaving now. You're just starting to get the hue of the sun come up. So when that sun's up, as it's coming up and you get the pinks and the purples of the sky with that subject, it could be absolutely incredible. Fingers crossed. So we're all loaded up in the car. I'm with my main man, Oggy. Say hello, Oggy.
Well,
so it's through a lot of hard work that this man's done. The reason why we're here, he's got so much knowledge with regards to Pallas Cats. He's worked with the BBC, he's worked with the government over here, doing lots of studies. So hopefully with his amazing knowledge, we'll get some fantastic images. Here we go. So we were on the way to the Pallas Cats and Oggy spotted a Corsac Fox, a fox that he knows very well, really laid back fox, and we all got down on our bellies and was able to get probably within 30 metres of it, really relaxed, got some nice photos and some video footage, absolutely extraordinary. So what a great start to the first part of our second trip. We're out with Mongolia's rally driving champion, Oggy, going through the mountains, off-road.
As we drove along the snowy plains, it wasn't long before our guide noticed something up in the distance.
Hoping I've upped my shutter speed and yeah, put it to a wider angle or a zone on my Sony, just in case it does decides to do a runner, I can capture a bit of action. So we've just finished the first session of the first morning with Pallas Cats, and I think I might have one of the best shots I've ever got. Pallas Cat jumped up and done a runner, and because myself and Miles were low, it run right at us, and the shutter speed was 1/2,500. Everything was set up perfectly, and the cat's in focus. I'm absolutely over the moon. Wow, what an incredible morning that was. First off, at breakfast I found out I've been shortlisted in Wildlife Photography of the Year, so that's an amazing thing for me. And then just got the most incredible photos of a Corsac Fox, and we saw 3 Pallas Cats and was able to photograph 2 of them, so super lucky. What a morning, I'm absolutely buzzing.
After some lunch, it was back into the vehicles and out on the plains again. And if my man crush couldn't get any more from my new friend and guide Oggy, this happened. drove around, stopping at intervals to look for Pallas cats. Unfortunately, the sun was going down and we didn't see any more.
Morning everyone. Day two on the Pallas Cat adventure. Oh my word. What a difference a day makes. We was getting temperatures around about -20, -18 yesterday, and it's got considerably colder overnight. I went for a wee at 4 o'clock this morning and it took me half an hour to warm my hands up, and there's a bit of a wind coming through and the temperatures have absolutely plummeted. My beard is freezing, like in the time I've just pulled my scarf down, so we've got to be really, really careful today. Don't expose your skin. So we're off out and I'll see you in a bit. So a lot of people have asked me what the environment is like here for the Pallas cats. I'll spin the phone round and I'll show you. The only way I can describe it is if you can imagine a desert with sand dunes and cover it all in snow, it's just like that.
Driving in this terrain, in these conditions, it wasn't long before the inevitable happened.
So the weather's changed quite a bit now. We know that there's a storm coming in, and yeah, the visibility's gradually disappearing and the vehicles are getting stuck. So yeah, we're just currently digging one out. We've got to get up to the top of the hill, which is over there. You can see one car's up. This one's stuck. Another one's here to try and help. So yeah, it's all getting exciting. Proper adventure. So we've been out looking all day today, apart from a little lunch break, and we've had no joy. The weather conditions are a lot worse. It's very windy, visibility's low, and then we've just pulled up on a bit of higher ground, and out the corner of my eye I spotted a little bit of movement. Let one of the spotters know, and yeah, luckily it was a cat. So we all jumped into the car, got to the location, and it was just in between two rocks. We've managed to get some images, and they're completely different to the others. Its face is absolutely caked in snow, like its eyes are caked in snow. I don't know how it could see, but yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. We're now stuck again, or one of the vehicles is stuck again, so we're going to get out and give it a hand. Push.
last, it was time to race back to camp and hunker down for the night until the next day.
Wow, what a difference a day makes. The wind's dropped. It's an absolutely beautiful morning. It's only early and the sun's not up yet. So we're back on it today. Gonna have some breakfast. And then, yeah, we're going out. But before we go out, we've all got to muck in. We're all got shovels and we're going to clear all the pathways around camp. And then we're going out in the motors and hopefully we're going to see some more Pallas Cats. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping that, a bit like owls, because we had a storm and they couldn't hunt yesterday, that there'll be more out today. So we've got a really good chance of seeing them. Fingers crossed. So after the snowstorm yesterday, just to get out of camp, you can see we're about 4 foot. It's about 4 foot high, just where the gate is. So we're having to shovel out just so we can get the vehicles behind us out. You can see how much has already been removed. We're all digging in, so I better put the camera down and start pulling my weight. I'm coming to take over now, pal. So we've managed to break through to the other side. That was a lot of snow. You can see it piled up this side and this side. It was probably 4 or 5 foot right the way through, and about, I'd say, 8 metres long that we've dug through. This guy here is an absolute legend. Look at him. He's adopted me as his new son, and he's going to take me to Ellesmere. So we're in the town of, close to where we're staying, and it is the town where Oggy, our main guide, grew up. There's about 1,000 people that live here. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's just, yeah, so vast. And then you've got this little town. There's about 3 shops here. There's a disco, and there's some, it's like a stadium, a small stadium where they do like horse racing and stuff like that in the summer. But what is quite amazing, they have a toller hare. It's very similar to our mountain hare, but they're all round the town. So yeah, the guys are up and out photographing in people's gardens and stuff like that for this toller hare. It's really cool. The beauty about trips like this, you meet lots of very talented people, and we've got our own Arctic professional. And he's just starting to cut out blocks of compacted snow to create a little house. How cool is that?
Conrad Dickinson is a very well-known polar explorer and is one of only 12 people who have ever travelled from land to the North Pole unassisted.
Mohies.
When it was finished, Tom had to get in and try it out for size. Are you alive, mate?
He's dead.
After all the hard work and a little bit of fun, it was time to get out back onto the Mongolian plains and do what we do best.
So we've just spotted our first Pallas Cat for the day. We're trying to get to the location, but because of the snowstorm yesterday, the snow's really deep in area, so you'll literally be on like an inch of snow 1 second and then you're in 3 foot of snow. So we're just digging the car out now. We're going to hopefully get it freed so we can get over to where the Pallas Cat is.
With the car dug out, it was a race against time to see if we could get to the Pallas Cat before the sun went down.
Okay, we've managed to get a cat. It's just hiding amongst the rocks. It's slightly come out now. I've got some lovely photos of it next to the rocks. Because of the snow, I'm overexposing by about 1 stop just to make the cat pop out a little bit. But absolutely incredible. Stunning, stunning cat. And we've copped it just at the right time. The sun's just about to go down, so we've got some decent light with it as well. Just see, there's a rock, and what looks to be a rock to the right of it is actually the Pallas Cat. That's how good the camouflage is on the cat.
Sun going down, it was time to head on back to camp. But what an exciting drive in this terrain.
So today is the penultimate day. We've got one more day after this. It's really cold this morning. I've just jumped out of the car. Yeah, and I've changed my clothing a little bit. I've changed my gloves for these. I'm not gonna lie, last night I've never had hands as cold as I have, and it was a little bit silly. I left my mittens in the car and I just had some little cotton gloves on, and I still haven't got the feelings in the tips of my fingers, so they probably got a little bit too cold, which was silly. So yeah, I'm not going to make that mistake today. We're out on the plains again. It's absolutely gorgeous, look. And yeah, we're just scouting, seeing if we can find the foxes. We've got the spotters here, the main guys out with their scopes and their binoculars. So fingers crossed we get some more shots today. So one of the young lads in the car thought he saw a Pallas Cat, so he's run off, right off into the distance, but he's took the radio, and unfortunately we've come the long way around to get him and we're well stuck in. So we're trying to dig out at the moment with no radio to tell the others we're stuck. So fingers crossed we can get out of this mess. So you can see we've had to dig everything out and he's had to come all the way back. We're not out of it yet. We're still in the middle of this plain, but we're on decent ground. We've just got to find our way out now.
With our vehicle getting stuck, unfortunately we'd missed our opportunity to get any footage of the Pallas Cat, and with the sun going down it was time to head on back to camp.
So it's the last morning on the steppe plains for us with the cameras today. Tomorrow we're going to be packing up and that, so we won't have time to come out with the cameras. And then we've got a journey back to Ulaanbaatar and then the whole long haul home. So we've tried to get out a little bit early, not as early as we wanted to, but we're up and in the location where the cats are now. So we're just scouting around. It'd be lovely with this light now. Sun is over there just coming up, so to capture them in this light would be absolutely fantastic. Right, I need to go because my hands are just about to drop off. So it looks like we found a cat and we are now rapidly racing across the plains to get to a location where we can sneak up on it. So fingers crossed this one lays low and we can get some photos. So after a few days of racing around and trying to spot them and trying to get to them when they lay low instead of going down there into their dens, we've managed to get one out in the open and it lay low, allowed us to lie down and creep up to it, and got some really nice shots. So you know, it's the last day today, so it's just just an epic finish to the day. Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
What a final day it had been, but for some it had just been that little bit too much. Having gone back to camp and packed up our bags, we loaded them into the cars and drove through the night to get off the plains, which was easier said than done.
Sort of like 65 kilometres of off-road, and we've had a storm, so it's really hard to get back. It's trying to find the right trails. We're going off-road, we're getting stuck, and we've just turned around again now, so just don't know what's going on at the moment.
Again, the drivers were brilliant, and despite the track being covered in snow, they were able to navigate their way through, and it was just in time for the most beautiful sunrise. We just had time to pull over and get a quick photo of the team. Wow, Mongolia, you had been incredible.